Oh my god, wait, the afterlife is real. No, I'm not sending you. You're sending yourself there. I'm sorry, you gotta go. But I don't even know. Wait, what's your name? Sorry that you didn't feel comfortable worshiping me. I would never want to make you do something that you would feel uncomfortable doing. Oh my god, it burns. Hey, what's up guys, it's probably not my favorite YouTuber here. I'm filming this video just as a little quick thing in case if, like, I should upload a video, but I don't really feel like this is just supposed to be a quick video. Hopefully it'll be quick. We've all heard of the story Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? You don't want something that's too hot, you don't want something that's too cold, you want something that's just right. It's not like you can either burn your hand and you're like, or you can freeze your hand and you'll be hurt as well. And then people can't just say like, there's no pleasing you. Yeah, of course there's pleasing. You need to find a middle ground. It's not either hot or cold. You gotta find what's just right. I got that from Jeremy John's video, Tales from the Comments section. One of the Tales from the Comments section, I think. I think it was the Star Wars The Last Jedi. I don't know. I was just watching a couple of his videos, and that's actually what inspired me to make this. Because I find that when I'm talking to people of religion, they tend to prove that they haven't actually read Goldilocks and the Three Bears, because they'll act like you only have two options, here or here, and that there's no middle ground. And I just want to list a few of these and explain why no, it's not either this or this. You can find a just right, because honestly, I find them very obvious, and I'm surprised that some people don't find them very obvious, but people learn differently, and I'm hoping that this video will clear things up. The first one is the classic idea of heaven and hell and there being no middle ground. Now, personally, after watching The Good Place, I don't even think that there should be a middle ground. I think that if you die and you're deemed not good enough for heaven, you should be sent on journeys or put through some sort of test to test your morality so that you can continue to get better. As The Good Place put it, you go through a test that tests your morality, and if you pass it, you get into heaven, and if you don't, then they explain to you what you did right and wrong, and then they wipe your memories, but leave a tiny little bit in the back of your head to sort of guide you and hopefully become better throughout the test. And then it's really up to you on whether you want to listen to that voice in your head. There are some people who do want to become a better person, and then thus, after only a couple of attempts, they pass the test and get into heaven. And those who don't believe that they have flaws at all and think that they're doing everything right, they'll have the voice in their head telling them to become better, but they won't listen to it, so they'll be doomed to repeat the test forever and ever, or at least until the voice finally becomes loud enough that they do listen to it. Personally, I think that they could do one better, because I feel like just telling someone why what they did is wrong is not really good enough. I think that maybe you could do it that way for some cases, but I think a lot of the time you just gotta experience it to realize why it's wrong. But the point is that, like, out of the Christian religion, definitely, they act like you're either completely perfect and good enough for heaven, which is nobody, or you make one mistake and you deserve hell. And it's not just one mistake, like, it's just if you've made a mistake, at least, then you go to hell. It's like you're born, the moment you do anything wrong, even if it's a mistake, you get sent to hell. And this just isn't fair, Like, yeah, I do agree, not most people, I agree, are not completely perfect that they deserve a reward. I feel like they probably have to do something, they probably did something wrong, they probably have to apologize or something like that, which they can do in heaven once they realize what they did was wrong, and then they meet that person who they harmed. There are a lot of bad people out there. There are people who I have, like, you know how, like, the 2016 American election, like, everything was just all over the place. I've seen clips of people seeing someone who apparently has voted for Donald Trump, and they just go and beat the guy up. Like, how sad is that? Like, people are telling everyone that they need to vote, and they should vote, and then they do vote, and they vote for who they personally believe is right for the job, and then people get so angry at them that they resort to beating them up. Like, that's terrifying. It kind of draws a lot of similarities of, oh, well, you have to believe in God, but you also have to believe in the right God. Because if you believe in, say, the Islamic God, seeing as, like, the first commandment is thou shalt not have any gods before me, I feel like, and Cosmic Skeptic has said this too, I feel like God would be a lot more angry towards someone who believed in the wrong God than someone who just didn't believe in God in general. Granted, they both experience the same punishment because God can only think of heaven and hell as the afterlife system. But like those people who went out of their way to beat someone up for using their right to vote, like, no, I don't believe that those people deserve to go directly to heaven with their current belief system, but I also don't believe that they deserve to go to hell. I've seen people who are claiming, like, if you live in the same state, if you live in a state in which the majority of the people voted for Trump, you have 2 months to move, otherwise that person on Twitter wants you and your whole family to die slow and painful deaths. Yeah, oh my god, the state that I lived in had the majority of the people vote for the person who got elected president. Thus, we have to move within 2 months or else this one guy on Twitter will just hate us. Pretty much every time that I go on social media, I meet people who I'm like, yeah, those guys don't deserve heaven, but they don't deserve hell either. They deserve to improve, to learn the error of their ways. I'm also not looking at Mr. Rogers, who once lied about it being a beautiful day in the neighborhood when it was actually raining outside, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, Mr. Rogers just lied to us. He deserves to burn forever. But also, just like how no one's completely perfect, no one's completely terrible either. And I don't understand what chucking someone into a giant lava pit is actually going to do to help anything. Like, if you're just going to throw them into a lava pit, that's just cruel. Why not just extinguish them? Just wipe them out of existence if you really truly think that there is no hope for that person and that that person is just making the universe worse simply by existing, then the least you could do is just wipe them out of existence instead of forcing them to be not even miserable, just forcing them to be in this never-ending state of anguish forever. What I also find very annoying about this is that religious people will tend to think the exact opposite about God. Personally, I think that if anyone has created a hell where people get sent to be tortured forever without any redemption, that being is evil. I have a whole bunch of people like telling me like, well, we know that God is good, right? So why not trust him? And I'll be like, nope. I do not believe that God is good if he created a hell. But also, just like how I said that you're either completely perfect or you make one mistake and then you deserve eternal torment, I will ask those people, what would God have to do to make you think that he's evil? And I will have people sometimes respond to me claiming that the God will just have to create hell, basically. Earth would have to be hell. Apparently, we'd just be suffering and tortured, and we'll be forced to worship God instead of our own free will, and basically, he'd just have to do everything wrong. And I just find that extremely hypocritical, that for God, it's the exact opposite standards of humans. For God, it's either he's completely evil, or he does one thing good, like anything good, and then the Christians think that he's completely perfect. I just find that totally unfair that God gets to basically get a guaranteed, oh, he's perfect, while humans get a guaranteed they're bad. This one is mainly just a specific, like I just had a conversation with someone specific and this popped up and I couldn't believe it was happening. I had someone basically expect people to be perfect, even though the whole point is that no one is perfect and that's why we're all going to hell unless we accept Jesus. But this, apparently Christian, told me that people should go out of their way to act completely perfect. And when I said that you can't expect people to be perfect because sometimes they'll be driven too far to something, sometimes they'll have some sort of urge inside that they won't be able to control. The point is that when people do something bad, maybe they won't have a very good reason for it, but in their head, they know, well, maybe they might not even know, but there is a reason why they acted bad. No one is just going around doing bad things for the sake of it. And even if they are, then it's normally because they're just screwed up in the head. But the person basically just told me, is there something that someone could do or say to you that would make you, as in me, kill someone? Because I personally wouldn't, as in like he personally wouldn't. And no, sorry. A sad thing that we all should accept, and I certainly accepted after I read 1984, is that you always have a breaking point. There is always going to be some sort of pain that you can be put through in which you will do absolutely anything to get out of it, no matter how selfless you try to be. I can tell you right now that if someone started to slowly, literally rip your face off, you would probably do anything to make that stop. And you can sit there and believe that you would never do that. That if someone did just start tearing your face off, that you would just stay silent and or not do the thing that you don't want to do. But there's a great amount of difference between imagining it happening and actually having it happening. Like, can you honestly imagine just how much pain it would be for someone to, like, it would suck beyond comprehension. And it just hurts me so much to think that people believe, because hell is supposed to be eternal torment, so apparently every single human, even Mr. Rogers, deserves to experience that pain plus infinite more. But anyway, like, I didn't say anything, but someone else brought up the example of, oh, what if they threatened to kill your kids if you didn't kill someone? And then that person responded with, oh, well, I just call the police or something like that, even though that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about if there is something that someone could do that would make you kill someone. We're talking about if you don't have the opportunity to call the cops, you don't have the opportunity to do anything. You literally just have these two options, because this is the whole point of this video, is that they tend to have very binary thinking. You can either kill someone or have your kids killed. This is very dark and messed up to be talking about, and I can't believe that this conversation had to happen. But anyway, so I jumped in and I tried to explain 1984 and how everyone has a breaking point, and the guy simply said, see, you have no faith in humanity. You gotta fight back. And I was just honestly shocked that I was being told that I didn't have faith in humanity. And that just made me realize just how binary people's thinking can be, that you either expect people to be perfect, and even if they're going through excruciating pain, or seeing someone else that they love going through excruciating pain, you expect them to keep that secret, just to not give in ever. And if that person does break and you go up to them and pat them on the back and you're like, hey, it's okay. You didn't do a good thing, but I understand why you felt like you had to, and don't feel too bad about it. If you do that, apparently that means that you have no faith in humanity. I can't believe that these conversations actually happened. Alright, next on the list is you're either omniscient or you know nothing. And I haven't really had anyone tell me that directly, but let me explain. They would tell me that I have no right to claim that God is doing a bad thing by creating hell because I am not omniscient like he is. Omniscient means that you're all-knowing, that you know absolutely everything. And I try to explain to them that just because that I don't know everything doesn't mean that I don't know something. Just because that I don't know everything that there is to know in the entire existence of everything doesn't mean that I can't be certain that hell is wrong. I am pretty sure that there is nothing ever in the history of any knowledge whatsoever that will make me reconsider and go, oh wait, yeah, I guess torturing people is good. Just because that someone doesn't know everything doesn't mean that they can't know some things. I doubt that you're going up to your math teacher and saying, how dare you claim that you know that 2 plus 2 is 4? You're not omniscient. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that God does say that 2 plus 2 equals 4, but I have no doubt in the world that if God did claim that 2 plus 2 did not equal 4, that the followers of the Bible would probably just go with it and say, oh yeah, sure, you have no right to question God, even though 2 plus 2 always equals 4, and there is no amount of extra knowledge that can be given that will make us go, oh shoot, I guess we were wrong to say 2 plus 2 equals 4. Even if we were given knowledge that made us go, oh shoot, I guess we were wrong, that doesn't mean that we didn't have a reason to believe what we did before. Even if I am somehow given knowledge that will make me go, oh crap, I guess torturing people is a good thing, I'm still probably going to be in the state of, oh, well, I do understand why I believed this before, but now that I have this new knowledge, I've changed my perspective. That kind of stuff happens all the time. Sometimes you'll think that a person did something bad, and then you'll be given new knowledge, and you'll be like, oh shoot, so the guy actually had different intentions than I thought he did, and it'll make you go like, oh, I feel kind of bad for thinking this way before, but I also understand why I did think this way before, because I didn't have this new information that I now have. My point is that if someone claims to know something, you can't counter that simply by saying, oh, well, you don't know everything, so how can you claim that you know anything? You have to give some sort of extra knowledge to help them change their perspective. And also, talking down to them and acting like they're stupid isn't going to work. You have to actually show that you care and understand why they think the way that they do. We're on the second to last one of the points that I have, and this is another big one. People will often tell me that I need to humble myself. And by humble, they mean that I need to believe that I deserve to be tortured for all of time, and so does everyone else. Like, they'll tell me in all caps, they'll say, please, all caps, humble yourself! Yeah, I don't think humble means that you think that you deserve to be tortured forever. That's literally called self-loathing, and it's not healthy or good at all. Every doctor will tell you that. Humble means that you understand that you are not the greatest being out there. You understand that you are not capable of everything, and you know who you are. But I don't believe, just like how, this is a Goldilocks and the Three Bears, just like how someone who thinks that they are the greatest at everything, that person is not humble. But also someone who's over here and thinks that they suck at everything and they're horrible and they deserve to be given every single punishment imaginable, this person isn't humble either. This person just hates himself or herself. You gotta find a middle ground to be humble. It's okay to think that you don't deserve to be tortured, just like how it's okay to think that you are not the best at everything. Although, then again, if you don't think that you and everyone else should be the best at everything, then I guess you have no faith in humanity, so what do I know? And finally, the big one, you're either with the God or you're with the devil. I hear people all the time tell me that you're either with God or you're with the devil, and I will constantly tell them, no, I am not. I have never said that I am with God, and I have never said that I am with the devil. I simply have not met either of them. I don't feel like I know enough about either of these beings to say to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to choose which one to follow. And then they just act like, if you claim that you're not with either one, then you're with the devil by default. Well, how inconvenient is that? I don't understand why it is that way. Why isn't it that you have to pick the devil in order for you to be with the devil, and if you choose neither one, then you're with God by default? And it doesn't even have to be that way. You can I don't understand, like, why it has to be so binary-like. Just because that you're not with one person doesn't mean that you're with another. It's like that scene from Star Wars 3, you know, the one the guy's like, you're either with me, if you're not with me, then you're my enemy. No, that's not the case at all. If I were to point to you just at a random person on the street who you've never seen before, you wouldn't be able to tell me if you agree with that person's beliefs or if you disagree, because you simply don't know anything about the person yet. You need to actually get to know them, have a conversation with them, and then maybe you can make a stance on whether you're with that person or if you're not with that person, if you'd be friends with that person or not. And whichever one you choose at the time, maybe your opinion will change depending on how your or their personality might change over time. It's not that you have to make a decision now. And if you're with the devil, then you need to be tortured forever, and if you're with God, then you're given eternal reward or whatever. This isn't really a binary thinking thing, but it's just something that I hear a lot, and I just really don't understand how people think that this is a valid thing to say. They'll say that God gave you the free will to deny him, and God is being kind, because if you don't believe in God, not even if you reject the Bible, just if you didn't believe in God, then God's going to send you directly to hell, because he's not going to force you to do something that you're not comfortable with, like worshiping him. Now, yeah, when you say it like that, it sounds good until you realize that the alternative is burning forever. I'm pretty sure that every single being in existence would prefer being forced to worship an awful dictator than being burned alive. Well, not alive, but being burned forever and ever and ever. I just honestly can't believe that. And the idea that God won't even talk to the person. If the person didn't believe in God, God doesn't even talk to the person. It'll be like the person arrives in heaven and it'll just be like, oh my God, wait, the afterlife is real. Hey, I'm God. I'm sorry that you didn't believe in me. I'm sorry that you don't feel comfortable worshiping me, so I'm just gonna send you to hell. Wait, why are you sending me? Wait, who are you? No, I'm not sending you. You're sending yourself there. I'm sorry, you gotta go. But I don't even know. Wait, what's your name? Sorry that you didn't feel comfortable worshiping me. I would never want to make you do something that you would feel uncomfortable doing. Oh my God, it burns. But anyway, I hope that I've, cleared some stuff up. I know that I probably haven't. There's still, Even people who say these things and watch this video will probably still say the things because I honestly don't have faith that they're actually self-aware enough to make those corrections. But I hope that I have explained to people my frustration a little bit, because I know that when I poke fun at some religions from time to time, that people say, oh, well, that's weird, Carolus M44, why are you doing that? Isn't religion sacred? So I hope that what I'm saying here will clear things up on why I don't really respect those beliefs, because people have said those things. Everything that I've said in this video, like all of the examples of binary thinking that I've been given, have been said to me specifically by someone religious. So, I hope that you enjoyed. Like the video if you did, dislike if you didn't. Leave a comment down below on why. Please be civil. Subscribe if you're wanting to know when my next video comes out. And I'll see you next time, guys.